Good evening. The Armstrong School District Board of Directors monthly regular meeting of September 11th, 2017. About to begin. Please stand with us for a moment of reflection, followed by the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Burdell.
Here.
Mr. Chauncey.
Here.
Mr. Close.
Here.
Ms. Lote.
Here.
Dr. Lobby. Mr. Mulroy.
Here.
Mr. Rarick.
Here.
Mr. Scaife.
Here.
Ms. Walker.
Here.
The Board of School Directors of Armstrong School District convened an executive session on Monday, September 11, 2017 at 7:00 p.m. in the Faculty Lounge of West Hills Intermediate School in Katanning for discussion of personnel and student confidentialities.
Reports. Anything on the reports additional from last week?
The Aaron and the JOC, and I don't know if you all off to a good start. They're very positive. I'll be out of town next week, so I won't be able to attend either meeting. So if anyone wants to attend the Lenape meeting next Thursday, 6 o'clock is a nice meal of that.
All right. Thank you. Any central office reports?
Yeah, just one update on the state budget. I'll have Mr. Kirk give the board an update.
Yeah, when the state passed its budget back in late June, early July, the $32 billion spending plan, there was no plan adopted on how to fund that budget. And as to this date, there still is no plan on how to fund that budget. So what the state treasurer is telling the governor as of September 15th, the state will be out of money. I'm not sure how they're going to be paying the bills, let alone fund schools with their funds. They did borrow some money from what was called the motor license fund that I believe schools should be able to get funds through October. But we're okay. I mean, this is when our tax dollars come in. We're in good shape right now, but I know the House and Senate are down there this week trying to work on a last-minute funding bill for this budget. But just an update that if you're hearing out there that some schools might be struggling for funds right now or in the near future, we're good. We'll be good for a while.
We're not due for any reimbursements or anything.
Oh, we are. I mean, we get money. We get money monthly.
How's this? That's
So
not affecting any of that.
We had a big our first basic ed unit pay, which is around $6 million. That comes every month. We got that last month. I believe there's another about $2 million still scheduled for this month that I saw that's already scheduled to be paid. The next month will be another $6 million one. But if you remember, we went 2 years ago all the way through November, December without state funds, and we made it. We're in a stronger financial position now. We've already got some state funds, so we should be fine.
Oh, kind of meant like any construction reimbursements due?
PlanCon, we just made our payments September 15th. They're due, and we get reimbursement for that, which is a couple million. Those will be on hold, I'm sure, until there's a budget passed.
Thank you. Public comments on agenda items this evening. Entertain motion and second for the approval of the minutes from the open caucus of August 10th and the regular meeting of August 14th. So, Mr. Chauncey, Mr. Rarick. Any additional questions on the minutes, corrections? Roll call, please.
Mr. Chauncey.
Yes.
Mr. Close.
Yes.
Ms. Lote.
Yes.
Mr. Mulroy.
Yes.
Mr. Rarick.
Yes.
Mr. Scaife.
Yes.
Ms. Walker.
Yes.
Mr. Burdell.
Yes.
Number voting yes, 8. Number voting no, 0. 1 absent. Motion carries.
Bills category, food service for July, food service for August, capital projects for July, athletic fund for July, presentation of bills for payment for July, as well as August. Entertain motion and second for approval of payment of those bills. Mr. Rarick, Mr. Burdell. Any questions on those bills? Roll call, please.
Mr. Close.
Yes.
Ms. Lote.
Yes.
Mr. Mulroy.
Yes.
Mr. Rarick.
Yes.
Mr. Scaife.
Yes.
Ms. Walker.
Yes.
Mr. Burdell.
Yes.
Mr. Chauncey.
Yes.
Number voting yes, 8. Number voting no, 0. 1 absent. Motion carries.
Personnel items 1 through 18, with the exception of 10, 11, 12, and 16, which are for information only. Motion and second for approval of those personnel items. Mr. Eric, for the second. Ms. Walker. Roll call, please.
Ms. Logue,
Yes.
Mr. Mulroy,
Yes.
Mr. Rarick,
Yes.
Mr. Skate,
Yes.
Ms. Walker,
Yes.
Mr. Burdell,
Yes.
Mr. Chauncey.
Yes.
Mr. Close.
Yes.
Number voting yes, 8. Number voting no, 0. 1 absent. Motion carries.
Education items 1 through 4. Entertain a motion and second for approval of those 4 education items. Mr. Eric, for the second. Mr. Skate. Any additional questions on those education items? Roll call, please.
Mr. Mulroy,
Yes.
Mr. Rarick,
Yes.
Mr. Skate,
Yes.
Ms. Walker,
Yes.
Mr. Burdell,
Yes.
Mr. Chauncey.
Yes.
Mr. Close.
Yes.
Ms. Logue.
Yes.
Number voting yes, 8. Number voting no, 0. 1 absent. Motion carries.
One item under maintenance, purchase of a truck for the West Hills Complex.
So moved.
Second. Mr. Mulroy, for the second. Mr. Rick. Roll call, please.
Mr. Rarick,
Yes.
Mr. Skate,
Yes.
Ms. Walker,
Yes.
Mr. Burdell,
Yes.
Mr. Chauncey.
Yes.
Mr. Close.
Yes.
Ms. Logue.
Yes.
Mr. Mulroy.
Yes.
Number voting yes, 8. Number voting no, 0. 1 absent. Motion carries.
2 construction items, purchase of a scoreboard for the athletic complex at Armstrong, as well as a sound system, under the, what is it, Keystone
Co-stars.
Co-Stars, pre-bid. Motion second for approval of these 2 items. Mr. Rarick, for the second. Ms. Lewis. Roll call, please.
Mr. Skate,
Yes.
Ms. Walker,
Yes.
Mr. Burdell,
Yes.
Mr. Chauncey.
Yes.
Mr. Close.
Yes.
Ms. Logue.
Yes.
Mr. Mulroy.
Yes.
Mr. Rarick.
Yes.
Number voting yes, 8. Number voting no, 0. 1 absent. Motion carries.
One item under student transportation, list of bus drivers for this school year. Motion second for approval.
So moved.
Mr. Mulroy and Ms. Walker. Roll call, please.
Ms. Walker,
Yes.
Mr. Burdell,
Yes.
Mr. Chauncey.
Yes.
Mr. Close.
Yes.
Ms. Logue.
Yes.
Mr. Mulroy.
Yes.
Mr. Rarick.
Yes.
Mr. Skate.
Yes.
Number voting yes, 8. Number voting no, 0. 1 absent. Motion carries.
6 policy items, discussed last week by solicitor, with a motion and second for approval. Mr. Eric, of the second.
So
Mr. Scaife. Anything additional with the policies?
Nothing different since the open caucus.
Anything from board members, questions? Roll call, please.
Mr. Burdell,
Yes.
Mr. Chauncey.
Yes.
Mr. Close.
Yes.
Ms. Logue.
Yes.
Mr. Mulroy.
Yes.
Mr. Rarick.
Yes.
Mr. Skate.
Yes.
Ms. Walker.
Yes.
Number voting yes, 8. Number voting no, 0. 1 absent. Motion carries.
Informational folder, anything additional?
No additional items since Thursday, ma'am.
Anything from board members?
I just had a little comment. I was at an event today down in Pittsburgh and met a couple guys and told them where I was from, and he said, Armstrong. I said, man, you got a new school up there. I was up there, a lot of good comments to make about it, so just wanted to pass that along.
Yes, well, my brother ran into somebody, got to talking, I don't know, towards Erie Way or whatever. It happened to be a superintendent, school district got direction. He was saying about where he was from or whatever, so then he mentioned it to him too.
Yeah.
And it was just little words out. People got a lot of good
These guys are
feedback.
like the Wexford area and stuff, so I didn't know them, but they heard where I was from. Made a comment, so it's good to.
Yeah, it is nice to hear. Anything else? Any motion and second for adjournment. Mr. Eric and Mr. Burdell, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, we're adjourned. Thank you.